On this day in 1599, a man called Valerio Calchi stood up before a court, and he said that he'd seen two women flying around up in the sky on broomsticks above the Maltese Islands. Wait, what? Our story begins here in 1599 in the Inquisitor's Palace, found in the heart of Burgos. The Inquisitor's Palace was the place where the Roman Inquisition held its trials. Now, the Roman Inquisition is basically like a Catholic watchdog, a Catholic police force, making sure that the good people of Malta were being good Catholics and behaving themselves as good Christian people should. And if they did not, they would get the curly finger from the Inquisitor, and he would put them on trial for their non-Catholic behavior here in this building. On this day in 1599, there's a trial going on. The trial of Isabetta Caruana, a woman from Gozo, aged about 50, and she's on trial for heresy. She's been saying strange things about the virgin birth. She's saying that the baby Jesus didn't come out of the Virgin Mary the way babies are normally born, came out of her breast or side. I don't know what she was on about, frankly. It's all a bit weird. But on this particular day, Valerio Calchi, one of Isabetta's neighbours, goes into this building, through that door, stands up before the trial, and he says, never mind all that stuff about heresy, I've got a better story about Isabetta Caruana. During his testimony, Valerio Calchi says that about 3 or 4 years before, he'd come out of his house in the Cittadella, the citadel of Gozo, and he looked up in the sky, and there he saw his neighbour Isabetta and her daughter fly around up there in the sky on broomsticks. They were flying like mad, he says, which kind of reflects the sort of behaviour you sometimes see on Maltese roads. Also, these two women, mother and daughter, flying around on broomsticks, were naked. Yeah, but naked. So, this is no longer just a heresy trial. It's now a good old-fashioned witchcraft trial, of which there were many in Malta, but this one's a little bit special because of the whole, naked on broomsticks thing. So the Inquisitor calls Isabetta and her daughter back before him, and he says, have you been flying around on broomsticks? The two women deny it, and Isabetta even tells the Inquisitor, you must be mad if you think I've been flying around up in the sky on a broomstick. The Inquisitor orders their torture. In this particular case, it was done by the corda. Now, the corda is a system where a rope is tied to your wrists. Your wrists are put behind your back, and then you are lifted up in the air, putting huge pressure onto your shoulder blades, often popping your shoulder blades out and dislocating them. This torture was given to Isabetta and her daughter, but both women deny being witches flying around on broomsticks. So, what's the Inquisitor going to do now? The answer is quite straightforward, really. The Roman Inquisition was all about making sure that people were good Christians, good Catholics once again. So, the daughter was given a fine and told to never speak about this court case ever again, which she didn't. Isabetta was given a punishment which involved her going to church on a regular basis, being in church on various feast days, going to confession, and saying the rosary on a regular basis. So, proving to everybody that she was once again a good Catholic, a good person, a good Christian, and definitely not in league with Satan, flying around naked on broomsticks. For more tales of the terrible and stories of the strange, follow Dark Malta Tours.